Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU TV.
Hi, we're the 6th grade class of St. Joan of Arc. Welcome to News 6.
I'm Sachin Agrawal from St. Joan of Arc School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Kyle Steinhauser.
Have you ever wondered what really goes on at a radio station? Well, we did, and we paid a visit to K100 radio station in Toledo. Disc jockey Harvey Steele let us see what it's really like to be on air as a radio personality. Kara Steele takes us for a rocking good time at K100 Radio.
Hi, my name's Kara Steele, and I'm here at WKKO interviewing my father, Harvey J. Steele, about the radio business. What was your first start in radio?
I started in radio when I was 14 years old, and I got a chance to work at the college radio station at the college where my dad taught in Illinois. And actually what they did was when I was going to junior high, I had a speech problem, so I went to get speech correction. And I kind of didn't really care if I was going to get this thing corrected or not. So the guy who was doing the speech correction was plugged in on the college radio station, and he said, "Tell you what, if you get this thing fixed, I'll let you come over and do a newscast on the college radio station."
What role do you play here at the station?
I do about everything here. My official title is Production Manager, Assistant Program Director. Half of my job is spent here on the air in the studio. The other half is spent writing and producing commercials, the stuff that, stuff you guys hate to hear on the radio, but we have to have them because they pay the bills. And that's the fancy name we give for commercials is production. So I get to deal with our clients, the people who buy the advertising, the salespeople, the people who are in the back here at the radio station who go out and sell the advertising.
What kind of music and programming is the station known for?
K100 is, since 1981, has been a country music station, and right now we are happy to, for the last several months, to be the most listened to station in Toledo.
What would you suggest to young people interested in this business?
This business is a real fun business. You want to get started in it as soon as you possibly can. Make sure you learn as much as you can about English, English and computers and all kinds of technology, because our business is changing every day. The most important thing is to make sure you're going to get that well-rounded education, so there's always something for you to fall back on.
Thank you, Harvey Steele, for that great interview at K100 Radio. Today's News 6 is produced by the 6th grade class of St. Joan of Arc School. St. Joan of Arc is in the city of Toledo, which is 22 miles north of Bowling Green. It was founded in 1837 and has a population of 332,943 people.
Some of us don't look forward to paying a visit to the doctor's office. Well, we took on the challenge of stepping into not just any old doctor's office, but an actual outpatient surgery ward at St. Luke's Hospital. Shannon Conrad and Kim Arnold interview outpatient surgery nurse Mindy Bauman on what really goes on in outpatient surgery.
Hi. Welcome to St. Luke's. I'm Mindy. We're going to show you the outpatient surgery. We're going to go right this way. Okay, kids, we're going to take you right on in through here and go into surgery. Just go ahead.
Hi, I'm Shannon Conrad.
And I'm Kim Arnold.
And we are here interviewing my aunt, Mindy Bauman, a general surgical nurse. As a nurse, how did you become involved in the area of outpatient surgery?
Well, I was always interested in surgery, and I worked in ICU for 13 years and decided that when an opening came up down here that I would come down here.
What exactly is outpatient surgery?
Well, outpatient surgery is when the patient comes into the hospital and they only stay for one day and then they go home. So that's why they call it outpatient. There's a lot of other surgeries that we do here where the patients do stay in the hospital for, 1 or 2 days or a week or so. But when you say outpatient surgery, it means that the patient is going to come in, have the procedure, and then they can go home.
What type of surgeries are performed here?
We do just about everything here. We do big surgeries, such as vascular surgeries, which is working with your veins and arteries when people have aneurysms, problems with vasculature in their legs. We do simple surgeries like appendectomies. We do laparoscopic surgeries.
What is the best and worst part of your job?
Sometimes it requires us to be here for hours on end without eating or sleeping or seeing our families. The best part of it is the challenge of the job is really neat because we learn so many different things every day. We have a great head nurse. We have a lot of great, talented people down in our department that we're real fortunate to have, and we all get along real well together. And that's probably one of the best parts, is all the great people that I work with every day.
Thank you, Mindy Baumann, for that inside look at outpatient surgery. Have you ever thought about one day starting your own business? Well, this week's Kids View question asked the 6th graders, if you could start your own business, what would it be and why? So here's what we found out.
This week's Kids View question is, if you could start a business, what would it be and why?
If I could start my own business and why, it would be manufacturing Michigan sports equipment and clothing because I love Michigan.
If I was to start my own business, I would start a golf country club because I like to golf and because I'm good at it.
If I could start my own business, it would be a fashion design school because I love to design fashion clothes, and I think we need some kid-related ideas out in the fashion industry.
Our final story today takes us on a magical flight. Rarely, when you think of a balloon, do you think of actually being in one? Well, we made a visit to Freedom Flight Balloon Company, which is in the business of flying hot air balloons. Todd Thomas and C.J. Morawski takes us up, up, and away.
Hello, I'm Todd Thomas.
And I'm C.J. Morawski.
Here with Cassie Swinker and her hot air balloon business. Kathy, when did you first start getting interested in starting a hot air balloon business?
Well, my husband started flying about 5 years ago, and we thought it was such fun that we thought everybody would want to do it, and we started a business.
Why do they call it a hot air balloon?
It's called a hot air balloon because once we put ordinary air into it, then we heat it, and since hot air rises, the hot air in the envelope will take the balloon up in the air.
What is your busiest time of the year?
The busiest time would be the spring and summer and fall.
How fast does a hot air balloon go, and how far does it travel?
It goes with the air. As the air current travels, it'll go with it, so we don't go real fast. Normally about 8 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour. Sometimes they're less than that. And you can go as long as you have gas in your tanks. And some people will stop and change tanks so they can go longer.
What is your most memorable client you ever had?
We did a wedding last summer in the balloon, and most of the anxiety was, are we going to have a nice day, or is it going to be too windy? Is it going to rain? If any of those things happen, then we can't go in the balloon. But fortunately, it was a beautiful day. The winds were very light. It was sunny. It was just a perfect day. So.
Thanks, Kathy Swinker, for letting us interview you at your hot air balloon business. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next week when the 6th grade class of St. Peter's School visits News 6.
Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.